Hey, what's going on? This is the Michael ALPOUGH Show, live, life, love, and laughter. It's funny, the phone comes on every time I come on. Remind me I'm coming on. It's hilarious. We'll start over again. Another one reminding me. Um, yes, my name is Michael ALPOUGH, and you're on the Life, Love, and Laughter Show number 54. Today is 5/10/21, 2021. My has time flown by. I hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day with your mother, or if you're a mother, or you're for the mother of your dog or the mother of your cat. If you're experiencing mother, you're with your mother. If you don't have your mother still, I'm sorry. It's so interesting when you read some of the posts that's on Facebook on how people who really appreciate their mother, and then the ones who have lost their mother, and how they express the things that they miss, and then you realize that you still have those gifts coming at you. And I just want to say how much I appreciated mine. I still have her, and I went to go and I saw her yesterday and went to go see her today. And so there's always hard things that come. I mean, there's just no way to get around what is happening, what we are being bombarded with, and that we're all on the in-between. If you notice, if you look, just look, you see that most of us are in the eye of a hurricane, and we step over into the hurricane, and sometimes we're pulled into the hurricane. And so this is the best way to understand yourself, as I'm bringing up this subject matter today, which is embracing and facing this world. You see, we're in a new world. Nothing that no one's ever experienced. Well, at least in this communication free-for-all that's going on. Now, think about just, you only had your communication, which I grew up with, was a paper. The newspaper would come. We used to get the paper in the morning, and then we would get it in the afternoon. And that's how you found out about what was going on. This is before kind of TV came in, and then TV came in. And then, of course, the newscasts started coming on at 6 o'clock. Now you have it 24 hours, but it used to be 6 and 10 o'clock. Then they started with morning shows, afternoon shows, and then we went into this computer age. Now, what was it before all of this? Well, usually it was word of mouth. Usually someone rode a horse, and they rode from city to city, dropping off letters or newspapers or things that were just beginning. What about before that? Well, again, it was word of mouth, carrier pigeon, these kind of things. But there was always some way to communicate. It was just different. Now, way back, there was one person that usually was in the tribe, that their job was only one thing, and that was to memorize the records. Okay, this is before ink, before pencils, before papers. And so, the communication is so abound now. And this is why one of the things I've been saying about the young people is, if there's anything that they've been bombarded with, is information. Information without experience. Information without experience, it does not create wisdom, but only headed knowledge, and then the influence of others. So, is your life passing you by? in spite of these times? Is your life passing you by? Well, I believe that we're in this great reset, so to speak. You know, now you can talk about UFOs. You didn't used to be able to talk about UFOs. Now you can talk about it all the time. Why now? Well, it's always been the same stuff they're showing out today is stuff that's already being, I've seen them in other pictures. It's really weird. All of a sudden they're showing these things. And anybody who's been a ufologist knows that these same pictures they're showing, they've always been shown. So why now? Why now? Well, to me, it's just to continually add the bombardment of information to whatever it's supposed to do. Whatever it's supposed to do. Okay, whatever it's supposed to do. But what I really think what it does do with all this information is it is very difficult to pick what's true and what's not. And so really, there's only one way, and that is to do your homework. So with all this news reset, is your life passing you by? Okay. We're talking about your life. Your life. We're not talking about everyone else's life. We're talking about your life. Are you in fulfillment? Now, you know, one of the things is if you've been a mother and a father, you know, what happens is you've centered your whole life up into a point to your children. Then they leave. And now you're left with this empty nest. They call it empty nest syndrome or something, where you're at a pause. And well, this is that time where, you know, now you can go back, so to speak. It never ends parenting, and it never ends, by the way. Everyone tells me who are parents that it never ends. And I know it didn't end for my parents. So your life, all right? So one of the first things you want to do is not stop comparing yourself to other people. Okay, comparing yourself to other people is okay if you're in the same league and you're playing in the NBA, you're with LeBron James, you're playing against him, you know he's a superstar, you know not too many people are going to be as good or famous as him, and you find what fits for you. There's a lot of NBA, NFL players that you've never heard of that all have had very good careers playing what their role is. And so for yourself, it's finding your role so that you can really live. What's really living? What's really living? Well, expressing your talents and your gifts, right? That could be one thing. But one of the things I want to say is allowing within this carefree feeling. This carefree feeling and not being afraid about it. Okay. Like just today, I was in a deep conversation, how to figure out just how to deal with some things. And then you see that there are, what's in the way? Is it people? Well, in this particular situation, the situation was a person who was blocking something from me, something that I really, really did need to find out, some information. And the person was not going to let it happen. And so how are you left when you know that something that's very important is being blocked by somebody? Okay. In other words, plan A isn't going to work. Okay. So plan A wasn't going to work. And there was nothing I could do about it. Like nothing I could do about it. I couldn't get this person to change their mind. And so now, what are you feeling? Well, I know what I feel. You know, and it's not being afraid. All right. So what I did was I put my sloth shirt on and I slowed down. I slowed my mind down. And I came up with another plan. It was actually a better plan than what I thought was what I needed. See, I slowed down. I slowed down and wasn't thinking about how to get back at this person, but it was more like, how was I going to complete my goal? How was I going to get very important information that was going to allow me to find out what my goal is? And when I came up with that, I got back my carefree feeling. My carefree feeling. I knew that I was going to accomplish my task and that I could do it all on my own. All on my own. Because of understanding my gifts. You see, understanding I have gifts. I know my gifts. Do you know your gifts? You see, are you being afraid? Are you being afraid? Are you listening to that voice that calls you a dummy, a slut, good for nothing, lazy, can't compete? Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Start deleting these words over and over again. Dummy, lazy, good for nothing, those do not exist in my vocabulary. Name calling does not exist in my vocabulary. And the reason being was because really what I learned was from a computer. We're in the computer age, everyone. Even if you don't have a computer or you even don't have a cell phone, when you get on the phone, you're talking to a computer. We're in the computer age. We are now speaking to computers, and you've been doing it for years. You've already been interacting with a computer. So, I saw my first computer, big on wheels computer in Walmart not too long ago. Had eyes and everything. It was going up and down the aisles, and it was scanning to let the employees know that they were out of barbecue potato chips and that they needed a full case of it. Okay? Or that this section in about an hour and a half is going to need to be replaced. All right? A computer showed me by learning a computer. Okay? And so how did I learn this? Well, a computer is a primitive instrument compared to our minds. The computer wants to be like us. The only thing is, the programs have to be put into the computer, but you've also been programmed, right? The computer has only so much memory, although now a lot of them have infinite, but you have infinite memory, your mind. And so with that said, what was one of the word, what was the word that triggered my mind? Because I want to, and had to work, because this didn't start almost until I was 50 years old, when I realized that the names that I thought people were calling me, I'm calling them myself more than anyone who's ever called me. So somebody calls you lazy once, it may mean it a million times, but what if you called yourself ugly or a dummy a million times? What is that program is running in your mind? A thought. A thought is a program. A thought is an electrical charge. And so if computers delete programs, then so can you delete words. Now, maybe you've said it 100 times and you maybe have to delete it 100 times. Maybe you have to apologize to yourself. And then when you delete those words, then you're going to be a purpose. You're going to replace those words with a purpose. I have purpose. So you say your purpose. And you replace them with these words. Okay? And really, the whole thing is to start slow. Again, slow down the mind to speed up. What do things that have the thoughts can be said one time and can affect you. And this is why you replace calling yourself, I'm not stupid. What am I? I'm valuable. Very simple. I'm valuable. I'm not stupid. I'm valuable. I'm valuable. It's very simple to say. I'm valuable. All right. Here's another one. I'm getting stronger. You can't just jump straight up. It is a process. I'm getting stronger. I'm valuable. I'm getting stronger. And these are the things you'll say when you wake up. These are the things you'll say throughout the day. Then you start to rebuild the mind. The mind can be rebuilt. It can. I know. I've did it. Okay. Now, let's talk about the word respect. All right. This is a big word. Okay. From my neighborhood, people get shot for disrespecting somebody. Okay. Respect, is the word. Even Aretha wrote a song about it. Okay. So now you can feel that, this person disrespected me. Okay. This person called me a name. This person didn't treat me correctly. Okay. Now, first it comes self-respect. Okay. Self-respect. If someone is saying stuff that's not true about me, or you see it on the TV, you're not a millionaire. You're not, you're in forbearance. You're collecting unemployment. You need your stimulus check. You need child help. You need student loans. to get rid of your student loan so you can have some more money to start your own business. But self-respect first. The ones I have the most respect for are people I know that they respect themselves. You can tell when somebody respects themselves, okay? Because they don't let every little thing bug them. They don't, on confrontational things are, it's no big deal. All right. Now, to get self-respect, you have to work on that. And then when you get it, and the person is not treating you the way that you want to be treated. And this is where all those forks in the roads or the stop signs are turning left or right on where you're going to go with this person. Okay. So now confrontation may have to begin that process. Listen, you said this to me 10 times today. I'm good. I'm telling you, do not say that name to me again. Okay. I don't want to discuss that subject. All that seems to do is bring me down. And I no longer want to have that conversation with you. And if they persist, then I'm going to confront you and tell you, stop it. Don't call me that. Or I'm not, or now I'm going to take this action. All right. So the confrontation may begin the process, but also understand that this is about loving you. Okay. So I'm more loving than I am confrontational. Okay. Now I'm very loving, but I'm also confrontational. But there is a loving, confrontational way to handle confrontations. All right. One of the things is to take the longer road home. When I was a kid, we couldn't go a block from the school without the possibility of being jumped. All right. So what was a mile walk or so, maybe not even that, turned into literally a mile and a half of walking way around confrontational blocks because I'm a kid. And it's important that what? You be in a safe place. It didn't matter that I had to walk 6 blocks extra home. What matters is I was on a safe block and in a safe place and made it home safely. And that is one of the things that I always want to encourage you, is to always be in a safe place. I have gone places where I didn't feel safe and I walked out the door. Walked back out. Didn't matter. I didn't feel like I was in a safe place. And now, I make sure wherever my wife goes, I'm the one who wants to make sure that she's in a safe place. Okay. So the more that you get your self-respect, the more that you get valuable, the more stronger you get, then your gifts are going to be revealed. The stronger, the more valuable, whether or not that's a confrontation from time to time, no matter what, once you understand this, then when people confront you in the way that you've already resolved, it just rolls right off your back. I tell people, stuff rolls off my back. I have a lobby. It's my field. Whatever you say to me stays in that field until I decide what I think about it. Because, see, I'm an adult of my mind. I'm an adult of my thought. And I am an adult of your thought. So what you say, I'm going to take that thought and look at it from the adult standpoint, not from trauma. We talked about the CPTSD, not from the trauma. As you healed your trauma, this will house your gifts will also be revealed. This always comes back to the CPTSD and that how complex you are. And so breaking that down in a complex way, writing things down, pull out a piece of paper. When you get in your own confusing mind, when it comes to that, when some of these things bounce on you, write down your gifts again. I'm valuable. I'm getting stronger. I'm strong. I no longer let this word affect me. And you write it down. You delete it from your mind. Okay? Now, I'm going to be coming back on here later, about 7:15. Usually I'm doing 2:15, but I had to go take care of some things. I have lots of responsibilities, like yourself, and I want to always be able to get on here at 2:15. But I think I want to really do 7:15 because I want to do an evening. I think it's really good that after the day's over. But again, I will be on here. I'm on at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times, and I wanted to leave you with this. I saw a couple movies. I do not watch movies normally, but I have to know both sides. So sometimes it takes me, a little over an hour to find something. If we decide we're going to watch a movie, which we might watch a week, I'm sorry. But I saw two movies. I don't want to give away the actual thing about it, but one was The Virtuoso and the other one was Voyagers. Okay. And these just came out, and I'm not saying I'm recommending them, but what the prospect of it is the dichotomy of both sides. And if you go look at these two movies, you'll see really, it's really hard for them not to have violence. It's just straight up. It's always violence. But one of the things I saw about it was the perspective on how they want women to now be, which is violent. And so the two perspectives of these movies, without giving it away, one was violent, where the woman was the violent one, and the other one was the woman that was the loving one. And so I would suggest that you watch both those movies. Again, I'm not giving him an A, B, C, or D, because most of the movies are propaganda. And of course, these two are way into the propaganda of what the reset is about. But it does give me a perspective. You want to know what the perspective is, how women are being handled, and how I see it, and how the woman is still loving, the loving one, the one who has the babies. Blessed are the fruit of your womb. So I'll be back later, and I hope this helps you out. Please pass it on to someone who is struggling with their complex PTSD and having a hard time embracing and facing the world. ALPOUGH. That's me, here to set your mind free. I will see you later. I hope this helps you. And